going to a very exciting place, to a moss farm. So we're gonna see how people grow air.
Yeah, so our partner basically is building huge trucks, specialized trucks, and they're basically polluting the air with it, and we clean it.
How do we get in?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. There is a post box.
Let's knock. Hello?
So this is the smaller version of what we're gonna see today, and this is a city tree or like city tower where moss is actually inside is gonna be creating new air for our cities. So we're gonna do a tour now of the moss farm. And we're gonna see exactly how the moss is grown. So this is one of the oldest superheroes that actually generates air for us. So the moss can eat the pollution, grow from the pollution, but actually generate new air or fine dust. So these are the towers that I already showed, and they're gonna be placed in the city.
Simon!
Hey, hello!
Schön, dass ihr es geschafft habt.
My name is Simon, and it became more than an investment. It's being invested in a new ecosystem, and it's so much fun, and it's also all about the people, and it becomes like this huge purpose in life where you're able to change something, right? Mm-hmm. So make an impact on anything. And with this company and the rest of the ecosystem we are building up, it's what I initiated with my brother. Is something, it has so much potential to become such an incremental part.
You also have a fund with your brother, right? So
kind of. So we started with T's Network about 3.5 years ago. It started as a consultancy firm for smart city, green city projects. We have a background in weather and climate measurement technologies, which sounds like a big thing, but it's basically putting weather stations where they're most needed and explaining people how to use them. And they're like these conventional old customers, like weather services, the government, but then on the other side, they're also really digital and hip new companies who are also interested in this kind of data. It's like Amazon, Google. So, but it's a completely different approach. So we started doing that, but also doing consulting with cities. And then suddenly we started a new business called ION, working on a new gas sensor project to detect toxics. And then Green City Solutions came along, and suddenly it's like this small ecosystem, this hub of being invested, but also working on the project and trying to sync everything for like an environmental technology ecosystem.
Okay, so we're now in the production site, and this is where they build the structure for the actual moss or like the city trees. And this is what it looks like. So it's 3 meters 30 tall, and it's made out of wood, as you can see, but there's also electricity and water running inside of it. So you can get some water for the moss, so it doesn't actually die out, but constantly has kind of energy to keep growing and working through the fine dust. And so the moss will go inside. It's like the little modulars that will go inside. And these kind of structures that can be placed in different cities for generating new air, right? So for cities like Shanghai or Beijing, especially in Asia, this is a very good solution to generate new air and also get rid of the pollution. And by the way, we're like the first people that can see the production side. Like nobody has ever seen it before. We have the weather sensor project,
Yeah.
right, which has been started by your father.
By my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
He's 70 years old.
Wow.
We're like one of these hidden champions. It's called Tis Klima. So basically all the weather data on the phone is probably
yours.
from that. Yeah, it's not our data, but it's measured by the stuff.
Yeah.
Still mostly invented from my grandfather.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Then you have the gas project.
Exactly,
right?
Ion. So it's
That you also invested into, or you completely did it from scratch?
we did it from scratch. So we found a group of really dedicated co-founders. We have 5 people. From 65 years to 27 years. We completely patented, and the technology is ours basically, and we are still building the technology. But it's a pretty unique and cool small sensor for detecting lethal and toxic gases in the air. Yeah, but that's like all I can say now.
Then
stay tuned for next
number
episode.
3, you have Green City
It's
Solutions.
Green City Solutions, yeah.
And then number 4, you have the fund
Yeah,
that
so we
potentially
started.
invests into.
Yeah, so we have a small family office to invest in a couple of companies, but that's all part of the ecosystem. But another one is an asset management. It's called Harvest,
Yep.
and that's for sustainability and long-term orientated customers who want to invest funds. But so it's portfolio management basically.
Okay, so share a secret. How are you managing like so many companies? Because I think people would ask, okay, this is really not possible. Obviously, one of the businesses have been established a long time ago, and then
But the rest, everything else, it was big thanks to my brother, because he's really getting shit done basically. Yeah, and it's sharing work and finding responsibilities. So I'm really on the product management side, and if you define Ion and GCS as a product, that's basically my ecosystem, and he's more on the financial side. And the both of us are backed by a team of really good people. So it's a small team, but we really try to find synergies and see that we have a really efficient way of working. And it's also my job here, but it's also my job in the other companies, is this managing of the ecosystem, to find people to collaborate, to find good partners, and then join forces, because it's not always a make or buy decision, but it's always a decision of make it, buy it, or collaborate. So the better the strategic decisions are in your ecosystem, the more you can basically achieve.
You also raise money from other funds, right? Or other organizations for your projects, or you just invest yourself?
Just ourselves.
Just yourselves. Yeah. Is this something that you are going to look into?
We're definitely going to look into that to be able to use other funds and people who are interested in joining forces with us to set up a fund. But we have to decide if it will be just a managed fund or something where we are actively invested and working on the strategy with the companies together.
Yeah.
That's
Can
the
you
decision to be
open
made.
some of the numbers of the company, or is this a
Of
secret?
which company?
Any company that you can maybe open some of the numbers. Let's say maybe how much was invested into Green City Solutions, and what your predictions are of how much money you will be making. It is a sustainable project, but it is for profit, and you want to basically still earn some profit on
Well,
it, right?
it is no secret that if you invest in something which includes hardware, software, gardening, and all this kind of stuff, you have to invest more than 100 euros. So it's a small seven-figure amount we invested, but it was more about the quality of the money. Right now, there's so much capital in the market, so I don't want to say that it's easy to get investments, but not every euro or every dollar equals $1. So it's about the quality.
It's kind of like the smart money, right?
It's the smart money. So we, besides the money, we brought a complete team on board. So the ICFO, the CMO, we working close together with the CTO and stuff like that. So basically part of the management team and other resources are like connected to the money.
Yeah.
So it's basically the some call it like company building, but it has also a layer of like strategic investment or strategic partnership. So I don't really know how you phrase it or which term you use, but it's like a combination of money, but actually look that one euro gets you like triple or whatever in return, but also from the qualitative perspective.
But this is also like it's very interesting because I think some founders don't really understand this. Is that getting smart money on board is very important, right? So you're not just getting an investor on board and you don't know what this person or the fund is doing, right? But actually to have an investor on board that can help your company rise, right? That essentially has the interest of not like just selling the company right away, but also growing it sustainably as a business. That
completely agree. So I don't consider myself an investor. We were fortunate as another company to be able to invest in other companies and to start an ecosystem. But then it's all about what you do with it. If you use real VCs or strategic investors, every company has to be careful that the money is just not like basically left there, because the funds will be gone at some point. But if you have money which is kind of smart or has a strategic perspective, you can always use it as a multiplier and get the resources, the human resources or the network on board. And then you invest in something and basically it keeps on working for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us. To be honest, like this was an amazing experience to see how the production site works, to see how everything is created, and it's super inspiring. And I really hope that you guys also will be inspired by what is created. You know, when you combine hardware and software. And what kind of impact you can actually create in the world. And nature, exactly. Exactly. But, do you have like some kind of maybe advice for entrepreneurs or some kind of, maybe fails that you had in the past, that you can advise not to make? Something that you can advise for the future entrepreneurs to kind of look out for?
Find a good crew of purpose-driven people. Look for something which basically motivates you and drives you, and not only you but others. And then once you have that, don't give up. Just like find your vision, find a good team, find partners, and then keep on going forward.
Awesome.
That was like my but a little bit of luck and get good vibes.
You have to enjoy what you do. I mean,
it's fun. Really important. You really have to enjoy what you're doing.
You have to have fun.
There's no sense in going to a job which you don't like.
I know. I believe this 100%. It's very, very important, and I really want to do what I truly love. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Great, very supportive.
Hey guys, so today is shooting day number 2. And today we will hear more from the actual founders. So what it's all about, how are they making our world a better place, and what their technology, is actually going to do to our lives. And you can have a look around and see what our shooting site actually looks like. And this is the moss mats that are growing inside of their greenhouse, which then will be on our streets. making of.
The making of.
The making of. So we're trying to capture some
Shots of flying through the...
of some natural forest and see how we can tie it all into the picture.
I would like to see cities covered in a green infrastructure.
But I think nature was the first designer. We need to start incorporating nature more into our lives.
Nature has so many years of experience, but it doesn't have the technology. But if you combine it, you get something beautiful out of it.
2011, I went back to Shanghai to my family, and I had an internship, a prolonged internship there, and I did a lot of outdoor activities, including sports. And after a while, I started to notice that my health deteriorated, and I didn't know where that came from. So in the beginning, I thought maybe I caught a flu, I caught the cold. So I stayed indoors, I reduced the activities, and it did get slightly better. But only when I went back to Germany, it completely vanished. And that's where I realized that it was the outdoor air quality that caused a massive impact on my health. Okay, now I was able to come back to Germany, but my family is constantly living in China. Wherever they go, they're basically exposed to the bad air quality, right? And that's when I got together with my co-founders. All of us, we shared a similar experience that when we were living in those big cities, whenever we got close to nature, in a park, even just a green wall, we immediately started to realize that the air quality was better and the air was more fresh and more cool.
We founded Green City Solutions to make the world a better place. What we are doing is we are combat the problem of air pollution, and we do this with the help of our nature.
Found out that there is a plant which is even more capable of binding fine dust and then converting it into biomass. So that's what really fascinated us.
Moss cultures have the ability to absorb our pollutants out of the air. They are over 500 million years old. Over 20,000 different species are on our planet. You find them in the desert, but also on the North Pole. So they are really adapted to their climate you can find them in. The initial idea was that we bring these mosses back to cities.
Moss literally eats all the pollution and then converts it into biomass, and this is unlike anything else on this planet.
Me and my team, we came up with our way of producing moss mats vertically, which nobody else is doing, basically. We're also conducting a lot of basic research to understand the moss a lot better. Motivation for working for Green City Solutions and coming here to work every day is that I'm asthmatic. Actually, since I've been working here in the countryside, working a lot with moss, I haven't had to use my inhaler in months.
Whenever we talk about this product, people are it's an eye-opener for them that the moss we use to clean the city is basically the same moss which is in their backyard or at a wall somewhere, and everybody thinks it's just something bad which you have to take out, but it's the opposite. So that's a beautiful thing that people have really this trigger of, oh great, now I know that it's part of the whole ecosystem which makes our lives better.
Our solutions are not meant to replace the trees, but it's about enhancing the ecosystem. You know, we have an advantage in front of every other solution in the market, which is a psychological factor, because we bring nature back to the city.
speech from the 90s where politicians talked about that we have to change our behavior and the CO2 output, and nothing happened. And now we see that things are starting to be better.
For instance, there's this one story about an installation we did in Budapest, and there was an elderly couple who lived really close by. They told me personally like how after we installed the city tree, the dust that was always covering the windows reduced for a while.
A product like ours, we can put it here right at Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, and people go there and see it, okay, great, this is like a positive example of how change can happen.
We are in a field of technology. We start to change, and that makes me also optimistic that we can do it, and that would be the biggest thing humanity would manage to.
I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and for me it was super inspiring. I hope it was the same for you, and if you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, like the like button, and maybe press the bell as well so you are notified for other interviews that are coming up. And have a good evening. Bye. So I haven't showed you all what has been happening all day, but at the end of each day, you need to celebrate. Celebration time. Come on. It's really, really important to love what you do, and I just wish for everyone to do the job that they truly love, because it's such a blessing. Have a good day.